Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just do a recap of what we did yesterday, first, before we kind of go ahead. Basically, we spoke about put-away strategies and put-away rules. So the parameters that affect your goods receipt and your put-away strategy are your storage type, type behavior. Okay, what exactly your behavior is going to be of your storage type. It can be either a standard storage type, standard warehouse, okay, or else it can be a bulk storage or a pallet storage. Then another parameter that goes ahead and affects your put away is your put away rules. Over there we've got multiple rules based on which we go ahead and do a put away. It can be addition to stock, it can be next empty bin, it can be fixed bin, consolidation groups, okay. These are the put away rules. Now based on this, in combination of these, we've got various put away strategies. So we can either have a manual strategy, as in the manual entry, where you just go ahead and you just go ahead and enter the storage bin manually on your own. Many times, a lot of warehouses they prefer doing manual entry in certain cases, okay, wherein they say that no, see, I actually, this is a huge warehouse that I have, and I don't want the system to go ahead and do a put away. Give me a suggest a bin which is like on the other end of the warehouse, wherein I already have space over here, or probably I'll try to adjust it out here. So many a times they kind of what most of the people do is they do a put away. Okay, they do a put away of all this, and then post they do a put away, as in physically they come ahead and they do a manual entry. Okay, so we've got manual entry. Then we've got something which is known as an addition to existing stock. Addition to existing stock, by the term itself, it means that if there is an existing stock present out there and you want to go ahead and do a put away for that. Yeah, if this is basically, these are the number of bins that you have, and if out of these bins you know that all these bins are full and there is already a quant available, okay, of product A. There are quants available of product A out here, basically scattered around here. So then in that case, and if you receive an inbound delivery, then basically how it will go ahead and distribute it accordingly. It will go ahead and distribute the quantity accordingly, and according to that, it will go ahead and do an addition to existing stock. Okay. Then we had a rule. Then we had a put-away rule, which was basically empty bin storage. When you're talking about empty bins, it will directly go ahead, no matter what the capacity of the storage bin is. Even if there's one HU or even if there's one each of a product in that storage bin, the system would then consider it as completely full, and it will say that it is not empty. So I'll not be going here and putting it. Typically, we'll be using an empty bin storage, an empty storage bin in cases such as pallet storage. Pallet storage, the configuration would be empty storage bin. Then we had something which is known as a fixed bin. A fixed bin, by meaning of a fixed bin, we meant that we can go ahead and assign or probably allocate bins for a certain product. We say that okay, these products come in. If these products come into the warehouse, then I would always want to go ahead and do a fixed bin. I will say that okay, I am going here and assigning so many bins for a certain product. Let's say we can have an example wherein there is probably you have a customer, and that customer has probably he's had a contract with you. Okay, he's had a contract with you saying that I'll only be doing a put away for, or probably I'll only be transacting with you over the for these many months, for like let's say 3 months. Okay, basically the example would be let's say if you've got some huge multinational company out here, and what they want to do probably is they want to go ahead and do a transport of everything of their they want to go ahead and move most of their machinery, or let's say most of their stock from one warehouse, and they're shifting it to a warehouse in another state. Okay. So what they want to do probably is, rather than going here and taking it together, everything, they might just pass through your warehouse. Okay. They might say that I just want a contract of 3 months with you. So then in that case, you go ahead and do a fixed bin strategy. You can use a fixed bin strategy saying that, okay, whenever I receive products from consignment from this customer, I'll just go ahead and place it out here. I'll allocate, like, let's say 100 bins for these products, and it should always go ahead and hit this basically storage bin. That would be a fixed storage bin structure. Okay. When you use your fixed bin, and then fixed bin check should be there, and at the product level also you'll have to go ahead and mention which is the storage type, okay, which is the storage section, storage bin type, and you need to have the fixed bin structure, fixed bin indicator check. Then we have something which is known as the bulk storage, okay, a bulk storage strategy. Basically, a bulk storage strategy would be, it's basically a behavior of a storage type. Okay, if this is the case, then in that case, let's say the example out here is, we've got a warehouse. We've got a warehouse and we've got a storage type, HRBL. Okay, this is the storage type, and we've got different storage bin types. Okay. We have 2 storage bin types, and out here you see that every storage bin type has got 5 storage. This B001 has got 5 bins, and B002 has got 4 bins. Okay, and out of this, basically what we have is we've got 2 HU types. So whenever we're using bulk storage, we might use bulk storage in case of, let's say, when you're placing just these huge jumbo bags, when you probably want to be implementing EWM in some manufacturing organization, wherein they've got basically their finished product itself is so huge that you get in these 1 metric ton jumbo bags, like, let's say, polymer products, or let's say polyester products, all that. So if that is the case, then you can go ahead and use bulk storage out there. Okay, but then just going ahead and assigning the behavior of a storage type as bulk storage would not suffice. You'll have to create a bulk storage structure, wherein you'll go ahead and manually say that, okay, fine, I'll create either I go ahead and create a bulk storage indicator, and then after that I go ahead and say that for every storage bin type and an HU type that I'm going to be probably having a compatibility with that bin type, what is the maximum number of HUs that I can place it over there in a bin. So I would go ahead and create a structure saying that if I've got, let's say, an HU E1, which is a carton, okay, then in that case, if it has to come to B001, then in that case, the stacks, the number of stacks and what is the stack height that I'll be placing out there. I can either have, what is the number of stacks and what is the stack height, which actually gives you the maximum number of HUs that I'll be placing in that bin type. Likewise, if I receive another HU, then in that case, what is the stack height that I'll be placing, and that's how we go ahead and create a structure. Okay. Now there might be cases wherein you want a product. Okay, you want a product to directly go into, the bulk storage. You directly want the product to go to bulk storage. Then in that case, in such cases, you can go ahead and assign the bulk storage indicator at the warehouse, in the warehouse tab of the product master, of the warehouse product master. Okay. So what happens is, whenever this product will have an inbound, the system would go ahead and also check the bulk storage indicator for that product at the product level, and based on that, it would go ahead and directly assign this storage type, the bin type, and the bins inside that bin type. So that's how the whole process works. Okay. Then the next storage behavior that we spoke about was pallet storage. Pallet storage, wherein typically you would use, wherein you're going to be only going here and dealing with with HUs, and you've got multiple HU types. Another thing is wherein you are going to have multiple racks. Okay, you're going here and dealing with a lot of your entire warehouse structure is multiple. You've got a rack structure in your warehouse, and you've got a rack structure in your warehouse. And another thing is that basically whenever you're doing an outbound, okay, when you're doing an outbound, the system would go ahead and tell you that this is the HU that you need to pick. You would not have a lot of control over which HU exactly that you want to pick. The system would go and tell you that, okay, fine, I want you, why don't you go and pick up these many HUs, and you'll scan those HUs basically in many cases. Okay, so pallet storage, it's not just like in bulk storage, it's not just the behavior of the storage type that goes ahead and makes you use the pallet storage strategy. You also will have to go ahead and create a structure or something which is known as a bin sectioning. The bin sectioning, which means that for every bin type, you would say that for bin, how many sections do you want? Okay, sections out here would definitely mean something like the stacks that you have, the stack that you have in bulk storage. So you'll say if I'm having 5 stacks in my bulk storage bin, if let's say if that storage type becomes pallet storage, then in that case you might probably say that, okay, for every then in that case, what is the number of sections that I would want, and what is the number of sections that I would like to have, and based on that you'll have to create what is the maximum capacity for per bin and what are the number of sections that it needs to open. So if I go ahead and do something like, if I go and create a structure like this, the system, if this is the bin type and this is the bin that I would have, so whenever there is a put away and the system proposes this bin, the system would automatically open up so many bin sections. Okay, so many bin sections based on the number of HUs that it's receiving. So if it receives 3 HUs, it will open up bin sections 01, 02 and 03. If there are 5, then it will open up 4 and 5. Okay, but if there is and since these bin sections are very dynamic in nature, it's not that once these bin sections are created, you will never be able to, it's going to be remaining the same like that throughout. No, the main bin or the parent bin would remain like that. However, whenever there is an outbound happening and there is a picking done from that bin, or from that bin section, as soon as the picking is done, okay, this bin section will cease to exist. So like in this example, we've got 04 and 05. Let's say we've got 2 other HUs inside that, and those HUs had to be, we had to do a picking and send them across. So then in that case, for both these HUs, for both these bin sections, both these bin sections will cease to exist and they will not be there. You will not be able to see them in the system. For the next time, whenever there is a put away to this bin, you will have the bin sections opened up once again. Alright guys?
Yes.
Okay. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about a concept which is known as a capacity checking concept. Okay. Basically, in ECCWM, okay, in ECCWM, whenever basically capacity check, which means that apart from the storage bin capacity that you go and maintain, you say that these are the maximum number of HUs that you can place, so this is the maximum number of capacity of the storage bin. So that is something wherein you maintain out here. Okay, so out here you go ahead and say that, okay, this is my storage bin structure, and this is the maximum weight, maximum volume, and the total capacity that I'll go ahead and, the total capacity of that. Likewise, if you have the storage bin types, over here you'll put what is the maximum capacity, right? If you put in all this, it will automatically come in out here. The maximum capacity of a storage bin. So let's say if I go ahead and put, what exactly is the maximum capacity, I'll say that my storage bin should have a maximum capacity of 100. But if I'm talking about a maximum capacity of 100, what exactly that 100 means? There might be cases wherein, are we talking about 100 inches of a product? Are we talking about, wherein we're not putting the weight and volume? Okay. Are we talking about 100 HUs? Okay. So basically, and let's say if you've got an addition to existing stock, or let's say if you've got a general storage area wherein a storage bin, wherein in a storage bin you've got, basically mixing is allowed. So you might have multiple HUs within the same bin, same storage bin. So if such is the case, then does that mean that 100 inches, if I put in maximum capacity is 100, does that mean that, I can go ahead and place a carton also inside it, a pallet also inside it, and, everything summation should be 100? That exactly is not the case. So for that, what we use is, there's something which is known as, we use something which is known as a capacity checking method. Okay. Basically, we would go ahead and use a capacity checking method whenever, when let's say your client, our client says that, okay, I'm going to be having mixed storage in my warehouse, okay, or else my put-away strategy is such, or probably the business that he tells you is, it makes the business, when you read it, when you try to understand his business or his warehouse operation, you find out that, they are doing a lot of existing stock, addition to existing stock, or else they are having a lot of mixed storage within their warehouse. If such is the case, okay, then you go ahead and perform a capacity check. Okay. Basically, what the capacity check would mandate the system is that the system would not only go ahead and see that, what is the remaining quantity available, it will also see, okay, out of the remaining available space that's there inside the storage bin, how much can I place of this product or of this HU? There might be cases that I can go and probably store 20 HUs within my storage bin, but 20 HUs of probably a carton. But then likewise, if I get a pallet, then probably I might be able to only put in, let's say, I'll be probably able to put in only five pallets within that storage bin. Okay, so there might be such cases. So in such cases, what we use is we go and use a capacity check. Okay, so for a capacity check, okay. So when you're talking about a capacity check being active, it means that you are going ahead and making the system understand that whenever you try to go and do a put away, there are certain things that you will have to go ahead and check. Okay, you'll have to go ahead and understand what is the weight and volume, okay, of a product, and also you should also come and check if you're saying that, okay, I'm receiving a product which is probably 10 kgs, and I'm receiving another product. I'm receiving a product for which the weight is 10 kgs, and the product is coming inside a carton or pallet. Okay, and the pallet weight itself is, let's say, about 5 kgs. Okay, and I've got a storage bin which has got probably does not have that much space. Probably it's got limited space. So based on the weight, volume, and the capacity check method that you define at the storage type level, the system would go ahead and say that, okay, for this type of storage bin, or for this storage bin, we'll only be able to place X number of pallets. Or if it's only products, in that case, X number of products that you'll be going here and you can go ahead and and place it out there. Okay. So basically, when we're talking about capacity checking, okay, when you talk about capacity checking, we speak about different methods. The first method that usually is assigned is that we talk about capacity check according to key figure product. Key figure product means, okay, let's say we've got a certain product, and you've got we've got a product with a certain storage bin, which is probably having a capacity of let's say 50. Now we can go ahead and place 50. It's got a total capacity of 50. Okay. At the storage bin, the bin type level, we say that the total, we go and say that the total capacity for that storage bin type is 50. All right. Now, you receive a product, let's say a product A. Okay, we receive a product A, and we say that for this product, it's, let's say, the basically you can only go ahead if this is the kind of product that you receive. You'll only be able to go ahead and let's say do a put away of 45 eaches of the product. Okay, 45 eaches of the product. And so then in that case, if that is the case, then you will only be able to, whenever you're receiving 100 probably eaches of that product, you'll be able, the system would suggest 3 bins. The first bin you'll have 45, the next bin you'll have 45, and the last or the third bin you'll have 5. Now, how does the system go ahead and say that, okay, if there's a certain product, what is the, how does the system calculate what is the capacity? Obviously, in the storage bin type level, we've gone ahead, let's say at the storage bin type level, you go and put in the max capacity. Okay, we just put in 50, just to give an example. We say that for the storage bin type, the maximum capacity is 50. Okay. And we also, at the storage type level, we say that the capacity check should be according to the key figure product. Let's say we put in a 1 out here. Then you've got a field which is known as the capacity consumption. Okay. So basically the capacity consumption means that if I receive, basically if I go ahead and say that my capacity consumption, okay, the capacity consumption that I go ahead and let's say if I have a capacity consumption of, say, a 9. Okay. If I have a capacity consumption of 9, then in that case, I would say that whenever I'm receiving a product, okay, no matter what, okay, if I'm receiving a certain type of product, and if I have a storage bin type wherein I've got a capacity that I have mentioned, so what the system would do is it would go ahead and understand what the capacity consumption is out here. It would say that, okay, fine, see, this is the capacity consumption, 9 is the capacity consumption. So, and 9 is my capacity consumption, and the number of maximum capacity of my storage bin is 50. Okay, so for 1 each of this product, the capacity consumption is 9, which means that I'll be able to place 5, okay, 5 eaches of this product at that storage bin. Okay.
Manoj,
Yeah.
What is this 50 and 9? Is it 9 eaches or something?
Yeah, I'll just show that to you. Just a minute. Let's say we've got a storage bin type 3001. Okay. The max capacity at the storage bin type level, you go ahead and say that the storage bin type level is 50. Maximum capacity that you have is 50. Okay. And then you've got, let's say, a certain product. And for this product, let's say just put it as 5. Okay, the capacity consumption is 5. Alright. Now for this storage type, there's a storage type, let's say there's a storage type let's say this is the storage type, and this bin type is assigned to the storage type. Okay, and at this bin and at the storage type level, okay, at the storage type level, we've gone ahead and said that we are going to be doing a capacity check according to the key figure product. Okay, key figure product, which means that I will say that the number of products that I am receiving, based on the number of products, it is not number of HUs that I receive, it is the number of products. Based on the number of products, on the capacity consumption that I maintain at the product master. Okay, at the basically, if I am talking about a certain product, and if I maintain the capacity consumption of that product as 5, okay, if I maintain the capacity consumption of that product as 5, so basically one each of that product has got a capacity consumption of 5, which means that if I have an inbound delivery, of, let's say, 20, no, I have an inbound delivery of 8, just giving a random example. Okay, I've got an inbound delivery of 8, which means that, let's say rather 9, okay, which means I'm receiving 9 eaches, okay, of a certain product, of product A. And in the product master, I've said that the capacity consumption of this product A is 5. Okay, it is 5. And so when the system goes ahead and system says that, okay, when you receive this inbound delivery and the system goes ahead and finds out that this is a storage bin type that is available, there are bins available in the storage bin type, the system will first go and check 2 parameters. It will go and check what is the maximum capacity of the bin. Second thing is, since it is saying that this is the maximum capacity of the bin, it will go ahead and check which storage type this bin exists in. It will go and check the capacity consumption method, the capacity check method at that storage type level. It will say that, okay, fine, the capacity check that method that we mentioned out here is according to key figure product. Then the next thing that it will go and check, it will go and check the product master. It will say that, okay, what is the capacity consumption maintained for that product? It will see that okay, the capacity consumption method that has been maintained for this product is 5. 5 is the capacity consumption capacity consumption maintained at the product level. So then in that case, if I receive 9 eaches of this product, the system, what it will do is, it will do a 9 multiplied by 5, that is equal to 45. Okay, so it will say, okay, so if I am doing a 9 into 5, it becomes 45, and the maximum capacity of that storage bin is 50. Okay, which means that I'll be able to place 5 eaches. Okay, basically I'll be able to place 9 eaches of this product in this storage bin. However, let's say instead of 9, I go ahead and receive probably 12. So then in that case, it will again do a 9 multiplied by 5 internally, and will say that, okay, now I find out that the capacity consumption, I mean basically now the total thing that I have to have, the total capacity that I need to go ahead and place 12 eaches of this product is 60. However, my storage bin capacity is 50, which means what it will do is it will go ahead and first do a 10 into 5. It will say that, okay, that is equal to, that's equal to 50. So this will be in, let's say, a bin, 01-01-001. And then I find out that there's another bin which is available. 9. So for that, it will again do a 2 multiplied by 5. That is equal to 10. So it will go, that is equal to 10, which means it will place the first 10 in this bin and the next 2 in this bin. So that's how it goes ahead and calculates, probably performs a capacity check at a storage bin level. Okay, if we go ahead and maintain the key figure product as basically a capacity check at the key figure product level. Okay, got it, guys?
Yeah, actually, I didn't understand what is this capacity. Means is it capacity to hold maximum number of HUs or max number of material eaches? What is this capacity?
You're talking about maximum capacity, right?
Yeah, and also capacity consumption. Yeah.
You're talking about capacity consumption or the maximum capacity which we maintain at the storage bin type?
Both. Actually, I didn't understand the definition for each.
Okay. See, whenever we go ahead and do a configuration of your warehouse, okay,
Yeah.
whenever we do a setup, whenever we go ahead and set up your warehouse, the first thing that you'll understand, you go ahead and create your storage types and everything, storage sections, storage bin types.
Yeah.
After that, you will sit with the warehouse supervisor or with the business team and you'll say that, okay, fine, you've got so many bins inside your warehouse, existing system. Or probably you're going to be having so many bins within your warehouse when you go live. You're probably building that number of bins.
Okay.
So now he will say that, yes, I've got so many bins in my warehouse and, every bin has got a certain capacity. As in, let's say every bin has got a height of 1 meter. Okay, there are certain bins, so it's got a capacity, it's got a height of 1 meter. All right.
Okay.
So then what you go ahead and try to understand is, he'll say that, okay, there might be certain cases that I would like to go ahead and place a carton also inside this bin. Okay. And I would also like to do some kind of there might be either HUs. What I do is probably I go ahead and place pallets also. Let's say I'd be able to place addition to existing stock. I will I receive a certain product, I go ahead and place it in a bin. I receive another product, I go ahead and place it in that same bin. Okay. Now if that is the case, then you need the next question that you need to ask him is, okay, you've got a standard bin size. But that does not, and you say that in your bin, you probably will be able to, you've got a capacity of 20 eaches. Okay, 20 eaches is your capacity. But then there might be cases that, product A and product B are not of the same dimensions. Right?
Yeah.
If I just say that I want to place, televisions and LED TVs inside my warehouse, probably if I'm talking about an LED TV, let's say if I have a 32-inch LED TV and a 40-inch LED TV, it has got a different capacity consumption, right? The amount of space that you use. Let's say if I'm building a parking, if I'm building a building wherein I can go ahead and which I'm opening up for the public to only park their cars. So if I am having a floor in which I say that, okay, in this floor I can go ahead and park, I've got 100 slots available. But then there might be cases that 100 slots of what? If I go ahead and place a Hummer inside that, probably in that case I would, I would not be able to place not more than 50 cars in that same area. But then if I place a, probably a, let's say, Zen Estilo, then probably I might be able to place 110 or 100, complete 100. Because you need to have space to go do a reverse and everything, right?
Yeah.
So that's known as the capacity consumption. So when you speak to your user, when you speak to the business user, this is the exact question that you'll ask him. You'll say that, okay, fine, your storage bin type has got so much of capacity, but what is the capacity consumption of each of your product? So if he says that, okay, if I'm receiving a product A, my capacity consumption is 5. If I'm receiving a product B, probably my capacity consumption is 2. Okay.
Okay.
You'll say that if I receive a product A, my capacity consumption is 5, which means that one, probably if my total capacity of one storage bin is, let's say, 100 centimeter square. Okay.
Okay.
And then if I receive a product A, it occupies 5 centimeter square. But then if I receive a product B, it occupies only 2 square centimeters. Okay. So in that case, that's how you go ahead and maintain what is the capacity consumption. So based on, let's say, if I'm receiving a product A and my capacity consumption is 5, so in storage bins like this, I will be able to place, if I'm receiving 9, then I'll be able to, if I'm receiving, let's say, 9, eaches of this product, so then the system would go ahead and ask me to do a put away in 2 storage bins, because for 1 each of this product, my capacity consumption, the capacity consumption out here is 5. So if I'm receiving 9 eaches of a product, so then in that case I will be able to place it in 1 bin. However, if I receive 12 eaches of that same product, the system would then go ahead and propose me 2 storage bins, because the max capacity of that bin type is 50 and the capacity consumption is 5. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Basically it's simple mathematics. It's mathematics that the system would try to do. It will go and check what is the capacity consumption of that product. It will go and see what is the max capacity of that storage bin. Okay. It will go and check how many eaches that you're receiving of the product, and then it will do a multiplication of the capacity consumption and the inbound consignment eaches quantity that you receive, and based on that it will go ahead and find out what is the maximum number of bins that it needs to occupy. Okay.
Yeah, but there should be some units, right? So if we just say 50 or 5 or 2, so how can we say?
At the bin type level, you'll only be putting in capacity, max capacity. See over here, you put in your max capacity as 50. Okay.
Okay.
You don't put in a unit over here because it's not necessary that you'll only be having a unit of, let's say, it does not mean that a UM of all the products that you have in your warehouse is only going to be eaches. Right? There might be kgs that you'll receive, there might be metric tons that you'll receive, the UM of a product. So here you'll just put in the max capacity as 50, let's say, just giving an example. But at the product level, you have a UM, right? You see this? You've got a see, this is basically this is your product, this is your UM, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But so the thing is, when you're talking about capacity consumption out here, when I say that my capacity consumption for this product is 9, Right. So basically what I'll do is, I will go ahead and say that if I'm receiving one each of this product, okay, if I'm receiving one each of this product, what exactly is going to be my capacity consumption? Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So basically that will be whenever you want to go ahead and do a use this, ask the system to perform a capacity check according to a key product figure. Then there is another capacity checking method, which means it is according to key figure HU. Key figure HU is out here. Key figure HU, which means that at your storage bin type level, okay, you put in the maximum capacity as 50, okay, or you just put in your maximum capacity as 50 out here, and or let's use a round figure out here. Let's say you're talking about 100. The max capacity that you maintained out here is 100. Now, basically out here, what you're saying is you're receiving HUs. Okay, what you're doing is you're receiving HUs, and what you'll do is you've got a certain product out here. Okay, you've got a certain product that you're going to be receiving. Let's say this is the product that you're receiving, but then you're receiving it in a packaging material. You're receiving it in a HU. So if you're receiving this product in an HU, which means that you will go ahead and then assign the same capacity consumption, okay, the capacity consumption at the HU level, which means, let's say I'm receiving a product A, I'm receiving 100 eaches of this product, and I've got a packaging material. Let's say it's a carton, okay, and the capacity of this carton, for this product, I'm just saying for this product, let's say the capacity for this carton is, I will be able to place 10 inches of this product in one carton, which means that I will have 10 cartons out here in my inbound delivery, whenever I'm receiving an inbound delivery. Now this packaging material is also going to be a warehouse product in your warehouse. Okay, so you'll be going ahead and creating a packaging material in ECC, doing a SIF of that product into EWM, okay, and then you'll be maintaining the capacity consumption unit out here. So let's say for this HU, okay, and out here, let's say your capacity, max capacity of that storage bin type, let's say the max capacity of the storage bin is, let's say, 100 out here, okay, and the capacity consumption that we've maintained, the capacity consumption for that packaging material that we've maintained is, let's say, you put in a 9 again. Let's say if you put a capacity consumption of 9, which means that whenever I place one carton inside that storage bin, it will take a capacity of 9 centimeters square, or let's say, some kind of it will take 9 units inside your storage bin that's available, of the available capacity. which means that if my capacity consumption that I've maintained of this packaging material, of a packaging material is 9, and I'm receiving 10 HUs. Okay, if I'm receiving, now let's not say it's 10 HUs, let's go ahead and make this as, okay, if I'm receiving if I'm receiving 10 HUs, which means that I'll be able to go ahead and place all these 10 HUs in a single bin, because the capacity, I have 10 cartons and my capacity consumption is 9, which means it becomes 90. And the max capacity that I have of this storage bin type or of this storage bin is 100, which means that I can go ahead and do a placement of these 10 cartons inside my storage bin. Okay. You guys, you following me?
Yeah.
So that basically is when you're using a capacity check using the HU key figure or the HU based on, which means that over here you're trying to go ahead and ascertain or try to find out the capacity of a storage bin based on your HU that you're receiving. So what you will do is, there might be a case that you're receiving E1 today. Let's say tomorrow you receive E2. And for E2, your capacity consumption, the capacity consumption that you're probably going to be having is, let's say 11. Okay, and let's say it's 11. Let's say, and you're receiving a total consignment. You're receiving, let's say, you're receiving 12 eaches. You're receiving probably 12 pallets out here. So then in that case, since my capacity consumption is 11 and the number of pallets that I'm receiving is 12. Okay, which means that the total capacity that I need to place these 12 pallets is 132. However, the maximum capacity of my bin is 100, which means that the system would then go ahead and propose 2 bins. It will ask me to first place 9 bins in the first, 9 pallets in the first bin. Okay, because 9 into 11 is equal to 99, which means that it is lesser than the maximum capacity. And the next bin, it will ask me to place the other 3 pallets. Okay. Alright guys?
Yeah. In case of nested pallets.
Sorry?
Nested packaging materials.
Uh-huh.
So it will take outer pack specifications or?
Yes.
Outer?
Yes, outer.
Okay.
See, because basically the thing is, ultimately what are we trying to do? We are placing the, if you're talking about nested, then in that case what we're talking about is we've got cartons, and cartons are placed in a pallet. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, for nesting, the number of, if you're talking about capacity check, nesting, it means that how many cartons I will be able to place in a pallet. Right? First part. Once I place the cartons inside the pallet, then ultimately it is only the pallet which I have. Okay? And the pallet is going to be placed in your bin. So it means that you'll only be going ahead and getting capacity. The system will check the capacity at the pallet level and not at the carton level. Okay? Shashi? Hello?
Yeah, Manoj.
Hello?
Yeah, Manoj.
Yeah.
Hello, Manoj.
Yeah, tell me.
No, it's clear.
Okay. Then the third method that we have of a capacity check is known as, capacity check according to a key figure and product. Capacity check according to a key figure and product is, you ask me a question now, right? What if it's a nested HU or anything? How do we go ahead and go about that? So basically, what the system would do in such cases. Let's say we're having the same example. Maximum capacity of that storage bin is 100. we're receiving a product A. Receiving 100 eaches of a product A, and now, okay, basically we're receiving 100 eaches of a product A, and the capacity, let's say the capacity consumption of that product, okay, the capacity consumption of that product is equal to, let's take an example. It says that, let's say the capacity consumption of that product is 9. And you've got packaging material. E1, let's say, pallet, and the capacity consumption of this pallet, okay, and the capacity consumption of this pallet is basically, let's say, we've got a capacity consumption of 12, or let's say 10, that for that matter, So we are receiving 100 eaches of a product A, okay, and the capacity consumption of that product is 9. Second thing is, we are having, we have the capacity consumption of this HU. The capacity consumption of this HU is 10. Okay. So in this case, what the system would go and what the system would identify is, it will say that, okay, I am receiving what I am receiving is, I am going ahead and let's say the first time I receive only 100. Let's not say 100 inches. Let's say I am having. I'm receiving 10 inches. Okay, I'm receiving 10 inches the first time. 10 inches, not in pallets. I'm only receiving products. So the system, what the system would do is, it will say that, okay, fine, you're receiving 10 inches, and the capacity consumption of this product is 9, which means 90. So what I'll do is, the first time when I'm receiving this product in my warehouse, I'll be able to place these 10 inches of the product in a certain storage bin. Okay. Now, the next time, okay, the next time what will happen is, let's say I'm receiving a HU of the same product. I'm receiving an HU, one HU, and inside that one HU I've got, let's say, some X number of products inside that, of product A. So when I'm receiving this one HU, the system would then go and calculate. It will say that, okay, it will go and check at this packaging material level, what is the capacity consumption. It will see that the capacity consumption for this packaging material is 10. So the system would then go ahead and do a, basically do a multiplication. Will say, okay, fine, capacity consumption is 10. I'm receiving one pallet or one HU of this product, which means that the total capacity that this will need, that this HU will need is 10. So it will say that, okay, fine, there is a storage bin where I already have placed only, I've got a free capacity of 10. So then it will go ahead and place it in the same bin. Okay. This is wherein, these are in cases wherein, you don't have an HU which is mandatory at your storage type level. Let's say if your storage type your HU requirement is blank, which means that I can go ahead and place HUs also, I can go ahead and place products also inside my storage bin. If this is the case, and your putaway rule, and the putaway rule that you're going to be using is either an addition, you are going to be using in addition to existing stock. Okay. So what the system will say that, okay, I've got a capacity of 100 for my storage bin type of my storage bin. For my product A, the capacity is 9. For my HU, the capacity is capacity consumption is 10. So whenever I'm receiving 10 products, I will go ahead and place these products. When I receive the HU, I will put the HU also. Okay. So the system would dynamically go ahead and identify what is the number of products or what is the number of HUs that I can go ahead and place. Okay, guys.
So in this case, a product with HU or only?
No, the first consignment that you're receiving, this is the first consignment. Okay.
Okay.
And this is the second consignment.
So in the
basically what happens is,
okay.
Sorry?
Okay. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, basically what has happened is, over here you maintain the capacity check according to key figure product and HU also.
Yeah.
at the storage type level, which means that whenever you're receiving a product, it will go ahead and identify what is the number of product, what is, it will go ahead and identify that, and then it will also go ahead and identify, okay, it will go ahead and do a combination. It's a mixed storage, right? So it will take the capacity of the product and it will also take the capacity of the HU also. So let's say if you're receiving anything in loose, okay?
Okay.
In the first consignment, you're receiving everything in loose. So it'll do a capacity consumption and it'll say, okay, fine, I can go and place this. The next time you have placed, you have received an HU of that same product.
Okay.
Then it'll do a capacity check of this HU and then it'll place it in, it'll ask you to place it in the same bin. Okay?
Okay.
So that was basically about capacity consumption. All right. So now that we've spoken about capacity checking, we've basically, what we've tried to do is we've understood how do I go ahead and do a, basically whenever we have an inbound, what are the things or what are the parameters that system would identify, or should I say would check whenever I need to do an inbound. Now, the next topic that we're going to be talking about, okay, we will do a light kind of a topic. The next topic that we're going to be talking about is batch management. Okay, we're going to be talking about batch management. Now, basically, what exactly is a batch? And why is it that we go ahead and use or maintain or probably go ahead and manage your materials at batch level or at lot level? Basically, you need to go ahead and identify. You might have cases where you want to do a backtracking. Okay, you want to do backtrack. You want to backtrack, as in if I've received a certain product, which batch it is of. So based on the batch, you'll identify that what was the date that this batch was created, which was, or probably inside in the batch itself, you can create a nomenclature stating that probably the first character is the shift that it was created in. The second character is is probably a silo that was used for that product, for creating that product, or this is the manufacturing number, or this is the machine that was used to manufacture this product. So you can go ahead and have a multiple, you can go ahead and create your batch based on different nomenclatures. Likewise, just like in ECC, we have batch management. Likewise, in EWM also, we've got a batch management. We can go ahead and maintain and manage, or probably maintain, manage all your products at the batch level. However, the additional feature that we have out here, there is something which is known as a documentary batch in EWM. Okay, so let's go ahead and understand what exactly batch management is, what is a documentary batch, and what exactly is a full-blown. If I'm talking about full-blown batch management, how do I use that in EWM? Okay. So basically, when you're talking about batch management, we're talking about going here and activating batch management at your product level, at your material level rather, in ECC. You go ahead and say that, okay, fine, this is my batch. If I'm receiving this product that I have is at a batch level, okay, it's batch management active. So whenever I'm receiving this product, I will either have batches created already, or else I will create it once I receive these products, and then I will manage all these products in my warehouse at batch level. I will say that, okay, fine, these are, if I'm receiving so many, if I've got, let's say 100 eaches of a product, I will have to have a demo. I'll see that, okay, 100 eaches of this product, which means that probably I've got 4 batches or 5 batches or 6 batches or 7 batches. So I'll be able to see a batch wise, differentiation. Just like in ECC, if you just open up, your transaction code MMB, if you open up that transaction code and you check when we check the stock overview, the system gives you a, it gives you a classified view, which gives you a view wherein it will say that, okay, fine, you've got 100 eaches of this product in your storage bin, in your storage location. And inside that, it will give you, it will give you it will say that, okay, fine, for this batch, you've got so many eaches. For this batch, you've got so many eaches, right? Likewise, even in EWM, you can go and have batch management use. So, with batch management, there are a lot of features that you can go ahead and incorporate, which you can use in picking. When you want to do a stock retrieval or when you want to do a picking in EWM, so there you can use batch management, stating that this is the batch that I want to pick. So if you maintain that batch in the outbound delivery, the system would directly go ahead and pick up that that particular batch for that product, rather than going here and suggesting that let's say if you might probably have first in first out in your bin, which means that at your warehouse level, let's say that if you're receiving, basically, let's say the warehouse supervisor or the business user, he says that no, I'm a pharma industry. In the pharma industry, this is we are setting up a warehouse for a pharmaceutical company, and out here I want you to ship out, let's say I want you to ship out products based on their manufacturing date, which means first in first out. So the first manufacturing that I receive, as soon as I receive it, I need to, whenever there's a requirement, I'll have to send that one, not the one that I received last. Okay. But then there might be cases wherein he will say that no, I want to send this, there's probably a certain batch, and I want to send this batch, for this particular batch, to a certain customer. Okay, and this is not going to be a case in pharmaceuticals, but this might be cases in some other manufacturing industries, wherein they might have, they might, go ahead and create multiple batches. There might be prime grade batches, there might be non-prime grade batches of the same product. And based on the customer, like let's say if you're having, let's say you're going ahead and doing, probably implementing warehouse management for a textile client. There might be certain batches of that same product, it will be the same fabric, okay? But then there might be, in their quality check, probably they might have found out that, there's a certain issue and we'll not be able to send this product, we'll not be able to export this. So what these guys do is, they give it to their domestic customers. So they put it in a certain batch, domestic batch, and so whenever there's a domestic customer that asks for the same fabric, they will go ahead and specifically put that batch number or that batch in the outbound delivery, and the system would only go ahead and pick up that, rather than going here and the system going here and picking up some other batch for an export customer which you've already maintained. Okay, so that is about batch management at the in EWM. Now there is something which is known as a documentary batch. Okay, let's understand what exactly a documentary batch is. Now basically a documentary batch, which means in EWM, if you're working with documentary batches, it means that you will not be able to manage, or basically all the stock that you have at your in your EWM, you'll only be able to see if you open up your screen. If you open up your warehouse monitor, and if you've got documentary batches activated for a certain product, it means that you'll only be able to see that how many batches you have in your warehouse. You'll not be able to manage them inventory. You'll not be able to do an inventory management for that documentary batch. Okay, basically it means that you would say that, okay, this is my documentary batch. Okay, you'll not be able to say that, okay, at a storage bin level, okay, you'll only be able to see the entire number of batches that you have. You'll be able to see that, okay, fine, if these are the number of batches that I have within my warehouse, where exactly these batches are, where exactly these batches are available within my warehouse, and how do I go ahead and what is the total count of these batches inside my warehouse. That's how you basically are going to be using documentary batches. So you can use, let's say if you're in ECC, okay, just giving you an example. Let's say in ECC you don't have batches for a certain product. You don't have batches for a certain product in ECC. So then in that case, but you want to go ahead and manage everything at a batch level. you want to manage everything at a batch level in EWM. So then in that case, you can go ahead and use documentary batches. So now to do that, okay, the first level of configuration that you'll be doing is over here. This is in ECC. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so basically what we're trying to do is we're going here and activating batch determination for a certain warehouse. Let's go down out here. Let's say if I want to go ahead and activate batch determination for this warehouse, I'll say that okay, this is my warehouse and I want to go ahead and use a batch determination basically in EWM. Okay, batch determination EWM. So I will say that I want to go ahead and use batch management in this particular warehouse. So that's the first level of configuration that you'll be going here and maintaining. You'll say that basically you want to go ahead and determine based on your outbound deliveries. Whenever you're receiving an outbound delivery, you want this information, as in let's say if you're using full-blown full-blown batch management, then in that case you want the system to go ahead and pass on all this information of ECC, all the characteristics and everything from ECC to EWM. You want it to be passed on, okay? And that's the first level of check that you'll be maintaining at the warehouse level in ECC. The second check that you'll be maintaining it is in EWM. First is, let's say if you want to go ahead and create, if you want the system to go ahead and create it out here, let's say you are using documentary batches and you want to create batches out here in EWM. So based on that, you can have this check over here. Either manual batch creation is allowed, manual batch creation is not allowed. Okay, all this information you can go ahead and maintain it out here. If you want to have the classification, as in a classification data, let's say in your batch that you create in ECC, you might have a lot of Z characteristics, right? So if you've got Z characteristics and you want those characteristics to flow from ECC to EWM, all this classification data, you can have a check out here. So based on the document type or based on the document category and the document type, you can go ahead and maintain this. The next important thing is, your batch status management. Okay, for some reason I'm not able to get a new entry out here. Update control. The first thing that we need to understand is the update control. Okay. So let's say if you've got a certain business system out here, this is a business control, which means over here you need to go ahead and say that how do you want to have a batch update. Batch update means, let's say if you're receiving certain batches from ECC to EWM, whether you want to have a system, synchronous update or an asynchronous update. Let's say an example, I'm giving you an example. Let's say for some reason that, you have a batch, your product is batch managed, and many a times this is a error that we have faced in live environment, that your product is batch managed, you have an inbound delivery, the inbound delivery reaches an EWM, but then it does not get activated because the batch has not reached an EWM again till that time. Because what happens is when a batch is created, it has to be sift from ECC to EWM. Okay. So what happens is you need to either you go ahead and have a synchronous update, which means that system would wait for the batch and then go ahead and activate it, or you have an asynchronous update. Okay. So that is one configuration that you need to do. And the next thing, or a very important thing that we spoke about, is about documentary batches. So you can go ahead and say that, okay, fine, for this kind of an at the item type or the document category level, whether you want to go ahead and use documentary batches. Okay. And this documentary batch check, you'll also go ahead and maintain it at your warehouse product level.
Yeah, warehouse data tab.
Yeah, over here. So if I go and put documentary batches over here, and I'll go ahead and use, though it's not bad, I can go ahead and remove this check of batch management from here, and I can still manage it as at the batch level. So I can have a good traceability available for this product at batches in my warehouse. Okay.
So we don't need.
Got it, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, that means either we can get batches from ERP or we can create them in EWM.
Yeah. See, the thing is, if you don't want to have, if you don't want to use full-blown batch management, as in you don't want those batches, you just want to have, you don't want to work particularly with batches. It's only that, you just want to manage the products inside your warehouse. At the warehouse level only, you want to use batches so that you can manage them. You need to know that, okay, fine, this is the first batch that I received, this is the second batch. So then you can use batch management. These batches will not go and affect anything, will not have any effect in ECC.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Then you use documentary batches.
Okay.
That's about batch management. Alright, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll hold it out here, and tomorrow we'll start off with a new topic. Okay?
Okay. Manoj, I have a question.
Yeah.
So in live environment, we will be transferring many master data, right? Many materials, customers.
Yes.
So in case of that, if we need to create warehouse product for each of the product we transfer, that will be very difficult, right? Is there any automated program to do that?
There is no automated program as such. What we do is there is something the template material that we have. You can either create some kind of a BDC program. Okay. You can create a BDC program that or you can create a certain product program in EWM, stating that as soon as a certain product is received in EWM, you just activate it first, and or probably you have a program, you have an Excel sheet wherein you already have all this warehouse data, all the storage data, everything maintained for that certain product, and then you just upload it.
Okay. What is the T code for that?
No, you have to create a program.
Oh, we need to create a program. Okay.
Yeah. You'll be able to only do a stock upload.
Okay.
You'll be able to only do a stock upload.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a stock upload, but then if you're talking about products and all that, maintenance of the uploading of the products. See, this is your product. You'll have to maintain it on your own.
Okay, that we will get from SIF anyhow.
Yes, but then
Yeah.
it will not be activated. You'll have to create it in ECC, in EWM.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do you mean by not activated? Means those materials
Not activated
are not
means that if I go to the screen,
Mhm.
if I go to the screen, okay,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, again we need to add warehouse net details here. Yeah.
yeah, so I'll have to go and actually it will say that does not exist.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll have to create it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay, that means,
this can be
yeah,
done by program.
yeah,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, so any other questions, Suhail?
This capacity check you told, Manoj,
Uh-huh.
now will it be at the storage bin level or at the storage type level, or where it will be?
Storage bin level, storage bin type,
Bin
or storage bin.
bin level. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Manoj.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one more thing related to the SIF.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to have suppose an EWM system is connected with multiple ERP systems,
Mm-hmm.
and to avoid number conflict, we wanted to have some prefix.
Okay.
So where can we have that kind of setting?
Okay, so you're saying that you want to have like okay. So then in that case you can have let's take an example of this. Let's say this is the case. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about HUs out here first. And this EWM system is connected to multiple ECC systems. And you've got multiple ECC systems and they are connecting. So in every ECC system probably you have got a different HU number range.
Yeah.
So here what you can do is you don't put a number range over here. You just put an A to Z. Okay?
Okay.
Basically what you'll do is let's say if I want to create a new one, let's say I'll create a number range 3. I'll put A to probably a Z, 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 Z. I'll put an external over here. Okay?
Okay.
So it means that I can have any range out here.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Any other questions, guys? Hello?
No, Manoj.
So it will
Okay,
be the same
Sashi.
for,
So,
it will be the same
sorry?
for it will be the same for materials, plants, customers.
Yeah, see, materials, see, plants and customers is something that comes in from there, right? So you can have, so that shouldn't be a problem. You can always go ahead and, you're sipping it, right? You're sipping it, so you can go ahead and you can have a different numbering for everything. Shouldn't have a problem with that. Just like this.
But we are having a number in ERP, right? So you suppose so ERP1 system, we are having a material with a number 100, and ERP2 system with the same number, another material is existing.
No, first of all, that kind of case will never happen. The reason being is when you're like I told you, right? This is like a global template rollout, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's take an example of BMW. Okay, so BMW might have manufacturing plants in multiple countries. So then what they do is they do a global template rollout. They'll have a global template and they'll say that okay, if this is my country or if this is my area location, Then, and this is my, so basically in this instance I'll be using this number range. In this instance I'll be using this number range. It's not that, you know, different instances are working on the same number range. That's never the case. They have a global template rollout.
Yeah, or otherwise in case of one ERP system also, we can have same number range for vendor and customer, right?
Yeah, that can be possible. That you can have it, not a problem.
Yeah, but when those vendor and customer comes into EWM, that will become location. So same kind of master.
Yeah, it will become a business partner. Basically what will happen is, it will become a business partner. Over here you see this is, I'm just giving an example, random example, okay? So now this is I think we had a different example also. You see this?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, let's say if you're having the same, your number range is the same. Like, you know, you're using the same customer number also, and you're using the same number range for a vendor also. Okay.
Okay.
So what will happen is when you do a SIF.
Okay.
When you do a SIF, after that you go ahead and have to maintain this. You'll have to put in the customer identification type as both CRM002 and CRM004.
Okay.
Okay. So that same BP will act as a customer and as a vendor also.
Okay.
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 All right. Okay, guys. So shall we hold it here?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll catch up tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.